What's your name?
Bridget Lewis.
Is it Lewis? How did you become interested in writing?
Um, I used to be a reader growing up, and I figured I could write. I came up with characters almost as good as characters in the stories that I was reading, so I just figured write them down.
Okay, okay. What was your favorite book growing up?
I'd have to say my favorite book growing up was probably Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and that whole series in general.
Okay. Do you have a favorite artist?
It's a tie between Rick Riordan, the publisher, the author of the Greek Roman series of Percy Jackson, or J.K. Rowling, which is the Harry Potter series.
Okay, okay. Do you have anyone that influenced your life on you or writing?
I think the one person that influenced my writing, my life writing, was one of my older sisters. She's a writer too. She's been around to Africa. She's been around the country, and she writes books. And she kind of told me that if I wanted to, she could help me out with the writing, and that just gave me all the confidence I needed.
Okay, have you ever written anything?
Yeah, I've actually written a few novels and a few short stories.
Okay, okay. Has anyone you written been published?
It's been on little small sites, but nothing ever major. I wrote a few poems once, and those were published in like literary magazines, and a few news articles that were published on websites, but none of my novels have ever been published or anything.
Um, Tell me about your writing style and can you describe some of your stories?
So mainly I write fiction. Um, I was very into the supernatural, which is like the wolves, vampires, gods, demigods, all that stuff. So my writing mainly mimics that. A few of my stories have the witch, vampire, werewolf, romance, all that. Um, I think one of the major ones that I did that I was very proud of that I'm hoping to get published is a story about a mortal and a vampire, and the mortal doesn't know her boyfriend's a vampire, and he has to turn her, which is unapproved. It sort of sounds like some of the stories that are published, but the way I wrote it, it's not going to be anything like it.
Okay. Do you see writing in your future?
I do. If I don't publish any of my stories, like I'm hoping to, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go into journalism, so I will be writing something.
Okay, okay. In the next 5 to 10 years, do you imagine having anything published, a story published, or a book?
I'm hoping to have at least a few magazine articles, maybe a novella published, which is like a shorter version of novel. But
Okay, thank you.